I cannot fathom in my head. You have a loving wife, you have a family, and for the second time, you would jeopardize that by engaging in sexually charged conversations with a minor. That is beyond insane. Yeah, I mean, he's all over the news. The guy was, Cass, he was a big streamer, like not quite Asmongold big, but almost Asmongold big. And to be in a position like that, where you're obviously a very successful streamer and you're doing your thing and you have this persona, and it kind of sucks because his whole persona was like this strongman persona, but like all it does is make guys look like males in general. It just adds another layer of suspicion for males on the internet. So it's just like whatever. I don't know why people get into these. I guess they get to a point in their life where they lose sight of what reality is and what they lose sight of what is and what is not okay. But it is what it is. I can't control the actions of other people. But he's getting everything he deserves right now. DrDisrespect was mega popular, but it seems he might have really messed up. Seems sus. No, he definitely messed up. He came out to boy and said that he did it. He was like, yeah, I was, and not only did he do it, but he edited the text. He edited the tweet that he had pushed out, and he tried to remove the word minors. He got called out on it, and then added it back in. Lost in the sauce. You know what? Actually, I watched a good video on this earlier today from a creator that I really like on YouTube, and we can watch it together. I don't mind doing that. We'll take a little break. A little PvP break. We'll watch the video together. If you guys aren't familiar with the creator I'm about to pull up, the creator's name is Internet Anarchist. And this dude covers a lot of like large scale, but well-known social missteps from other large content creators, and kind of talks about them and their history. And he actually does a really good job of diving into it and learning things about the person, and not just like spouting off things without evidence. So he actually cites his sources and he talks about them. So we'll watch this video together. I don't mind doing that. Again, this is Internet Anarchist. I'll put the video up in the channel so you guys can actually see the video's name. There you go. That's the video.
Of one of the largest downfalls in creator history, going from being one of the most respected and popular streamers on the internet to being hated by everyone after admitting some awfully disturbing actions.
He was talking inappropriately with a minor, where I truly believe this.
One thing that Internet Anarchist does too is that he actually leans on other larger creators as well. So you'll see like Penguin Zero. I don't know who this guy is. I'm not like super familiar with all these. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, I don't consume a ton of social media outside of just streaming. So, and I'm not saying I don't do any. I just don't live on social media. I do a very casual amount, if that makes sense. But yeah, I like Penguin Zero stuff too. He has some very fun takes.
Scumbag needs to be banned off of the platform
Mudahar?
he's on.
I don't know who's really going to support him at this point. Like, what kind of person is going to watch Dr.
I don't know who this guy is either.
At this point, you just have to be coping, basically.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be diving into the case of DrDisrespect.
Before we go on any further, subscribe to this guy if you like this content. His stuff is actually really good. He puts up a lot of videos. He's actually on the grind doing really good content stuff. And like I said, if you like the format of the video you're about to see and you don't have him subscribed to, you should subscribe to
streamer who
on
is now
YouTube.
being viewed as an unfaithful predator. But to fully understand the current situation, we first have to go back to where it all started. In June of 2020, DrDisrespect, who was the face of Twitch at the time, was permanently banned from the platform. The suddenness of the high-profile banning, coupled with the silence from both DrDisrespect and Twitch on the matter, would turn the ban into one of the most infamous and mysterious bans in Twitch history. And
this is legitimate to me. There's a lot of like really bizarro things that went on with that, right? Because Twitch, for whatever reason, when they banned him, they didn't want to talk about why, and maybe it's because they were concerned for privacy. And I have a theory on why Twitch didn't want to discuss the ban. Hold on one second. And the theory that I have is that I wonder if they discovered the information by violating their own terms of service, and that's why they didn't want to. That's why they paid out to him, and that's why they wanted to avoid the court. Now, that's just purely speculation. But when I say that, I mean like maybe they just read his logs and there wasn't a prompt to. So if you're on the internet, you have privacy, right? If you're using Facebook, if you're using, like Twitter or Twitch and you're DMing somebody, there's a layer of privacy. Now, if I'm in the DMs with you and you say something to me and I report your chat, then the company has, through their terms of service, the right to read your DMs. So something prompted them to go in and read his DMs. But the word on the street via the investigations that have been conducted, I haven't seen the hard proof myself. I'm just telling you what I've seen, is that there is no evidence to show that it was reported by the other person. And he obviously didn't report himself. So Twitch might have, through ill-gotten means, found that information because they wanted him off the platform. Welcome, Champs. It's good to see you, buddy. Maybe they just wanted him off the platform, right? So they found a way to get him off the platform because he had more than one incident. He had like the bathroom incident, which I'm going to be honest, that was also news to me. I mean, it's common sense. I would never stream content from a bathroom, a public bathroom. But apparently this is something he did and he got in trouble for it. And there was a few other things that were getting him in a lot of trouble. So let's continue reading.
Theories. This wouldn't be helped by his final moments on stream, appearing like he found out something extremely bad was about to happen.
We'll get through this, Champions Club. I know it's a tough. Life's weird right now. We'll get through this, okay? And
hey, Christopher.
Fuck.
He sounds so unhinged right there. Now I get it; it's edited, but he just goes, if you have no context, you're just a viewer, and you hear him say, "We'll get through this, champs." Whatever. It's like, life is weird right now. Like, these are, you can already tell he's reeling with guilt. This isn't like I got sucker punched. This is like I got caught behavior. Because if it's an unjust catch, right? If you got accused of something you didn't do, your reaction wouldn't be recoil. Your reaction would be like, what the hell are you talking about? Ergo, dude comes into my chat a minute ago. He brings up, or not a minute ago, like 10 minutes ago, he brought up fake DMs. I didn't hide from those. I brought those up and I was like, no, man. This shit is wrong and I'm gonna show you why it's wrong. I even actually did a lot of due diligence. I requested my own information from Discord. I asked them to send me my own chat logs and I dug through them all. I found almost all the ones that were real, and the ones that weren't real, that were just purely fabricated, obviously I couldn't find because they didn't exist on it. And I showed them all. I showed them all on the stream because I had nothing to hide. Absolutely nothing to hide.
This strange behavior.
So my reaction was very different than his too. His reaction was he wants to bury it. He wants to keep it quiet. He wants it under the rug. Usually when you don't want to talk about the wrongdoing, when you don't want to discuss it, when you're afraid to discuss the topic, there's reason for that. Usually there's a good reason for that. And granted, the defense of, he was under legal counsel, whatever, got it. He might have been. I don't know that. I'm not a lawyer, but I know that I know if it were me, I would have addressed it at least on some level.
Yours to leave comments such as, whatever's coming, it ain't gonna be a small matter. That mood he gets into near the end, I'm scared. As well as 242, I kind of wanted to get off, and
I actually really feel bad for this guy too. This guy right here. They said that this mood I get into near the end, I'm scared. I actually feel bad for that guy because this dude is somebody who genuinely cared for his creator, and he saw his mood shifting, and as a supporter he was filled with uncertainty, so you had that layer. We're just talking about the Dr. Disrespect drama because some people didn't know about it, and I figured it'd be a good time as any to talk about it.
Since near the end, I'm scared. As well as 242, I kind
Thank you, Cass, for hooking me on up with that stuff. Appreciate you.
He realized it would
We
be
love you
awesome
around here, Cass. You already know that, though.
Despite these comments, no one could have been prepared for the real reason he was actually banned. In August of 2020, Doc would return to streaming, but this time on YouTube. His first stream on the platform attracted a massive audience, and he seemingly came back stronger than ever, going on to claim that he had no idea why he was even banned in the first.
Yo, that's cap. He had no idea why he was banned. Maybe he didn't for a little while, but I'm sure he found out and just didn't want to address it.
Why did you get banned? Guess what? I want you to look me in the fucking eyes when I say this. We still have no.
Okay. I want you to look, guys. Look. Let's role play. We're Dr. Disrespect for a second, right? All right. We put this on. I want you to look me in the eyes for a second. Obviously, I'm a VTuber. You can't see my eyes, right? This dude's wearing sunglasses that are dark as hell. You can't see his eyes either. So this was a weird take. This was a weird move. So weird, man. Look at my eyes for a second. Like, for what emphasis? For what purpose?
No idea.
Over the following 4 years, his ban would remain a mystery.
Oh, 100%
until
He
YouTube
absolutely.
with over 4.7 million subscribers and continued to be one of the most popular streamers on the internet. But this would all completely change in 2024. On the 22nd of June, Cody Connors, an ex-Twitch employee, would make a tweet that would mark the beginning of the end for DrDisrespect. The tweet read, "He got banned because he got caught texting a partner in the then existing Twitch Whispers product."
And this is where I think Twitch was somewhat culpable, because an ex-employee came out and said this stuff, and that for Twitch is a legal issue, because now other people on the platform will think, well, if they're reading DMs, then what else are they doing? But I mean, granted, it's a public streaming platform. If you don't want what you're doing on the internet to come off as wrong, don't do, you know, like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, just don't do those things and you'll be fine. Or just don't do them at all, and don't be tempted to do them, and then you'll be A-okay. You won't ever have that problem. However, I understand that people have different concerns for privacy, so like, it makes sense to me. Like, some people might talk about their medical issues, they might talk about their personal history in DM. So
He was
it is
trying
what
to
it
meet
is.
up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed game.
Then there's the other question that I have, right? What kind of parent sends their kid, their minor child, off to TwitchCon by themselves? Like, what is this? It raises so many questions to me. As a parent myself, I could not imagine sending my minor child out anywhere, like especially a large venue with a lot of content creators, outside of my purview. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
The tweet was making big claims with little to no evidence to back them up, and the reaction from the internet would be extremely mixed, with some jumping to the conclusion that he's a creep despite the lack of evidence, and others
100%.
waiting to hear more about the situation or calling Cody an unreliable source of information, with comments reading, "Hey doc, I heard you like him young. We need sources and more information, like who, as well as source, just trust me bro."
All right, so to this part, that's fair. Anytime somebody comes out with a strong allegation like that, you always want to ask for the sources. One thing that did kind of hurt his credibility was he was offering the information about why he got banned with concert tickets that he was selling. He's like, hey, if you buy my concert tickets, I'll tell you why DrDisrespect got banned off of Twitch. Like, that looks like a con. It does on its surface. If I heard that, I think you're trying to con me. So I get it. That does knock his credibility. But also, this is for everybody. Never feel bad about asking for the source of information. If somebody gives you a strong accusation on something, always ask for the source. And when they give you the source, if it looks fake, it smells fake, if the shit is just too unrealistic, it probably is fake. But if it's a direct DM, there's every chance that it's real. And in this case, you have actual reporters who have credited and sourced information that don't just like, hey, check out this screenshot on Twitch, bro. Like, they have real accredited information that came out. So it is credible at this point.
While Cody's tweet didn't explicitly mention DrDisrespect, Jake Lucky's repost.
Yeah, there's so much
resulted
clickbait.
in
Yeah,
results
I know.
that would ultimately
There
make
still
the
is.
situation so much worse. Jake, seriously, I get it. It's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged, and they paid out the whole contract. The tweet would garner significant criticism for the strange and concerning use of vague and legalese language, leaving readers wondering why.
Yeah, he had said no wrongdoing was acknowledged. What does that mean? Not, I didn't do anything wrong, no wrongdoing was conducted, no wrongdoing was founded, no wrongdoing actually happened. Acknowledged is very different. That just means I didn't get caught, right? So when he says there's no wrongdoing acknowledged, that just means that he's not being held culpable, or he's not being held accountable for what he actually did. If he did do something, which we know now that he did. So the careful wording is an immediate red flag for anybody that is familiar with the legal system. That is an immediate red flag, because he said it in a way where he would not be held culpable for mishandling the information.
Doc said no wrongdoing was acknowledged, instead of just denying the career
Yeah, there you go.
allegations. Following the significant backlash, Doc would make another response on the situation, adding a bit more context, stating, "Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say since this is the
Oh, there.
internet.
Okay, we're
I
back.
didn't do anything wrong, and all of this has been probed and settled."
Yeah, I agree. Like, outright denying it is giga sus. Like, if you were, so people do this stuff on the anonymity of the internet because they think it's cheeky and cute. And I tell them, like, you're not funny, you're not cute, you're not interesting. This shit is not okay. What you're doing is atrocious, because there are real victims. There are real people, and not just not just like random unknown people. There's people that are in my chat right now that I am sure were a victim of assault, even at a minor age. There are friends in my friend groups that have been victims of assault throughout their entire lives, like sexual assault through their lives. I don't think that shit's funny to joke about, and I don't think it's cute, because there are real victims, and when you falsely throw out claims, you don't just try and damage the reputation of a creator, you are actually hurting the people that had legitimate claims that maybe didn't get listened to because you were throwing out false claims willy-nilly because you're willing to try and use that as a platform to disrespect or take somebody down. Obviously, it's not working. So doing that kind of shit is never okay, because it hurts the victims more than it hurts the person they're trying to take down.
Illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid Elden Ring Monday. While this tweet was better than
The inclusion of Elden Ring Monday at the end is giga weird. So anyway, Elden Ring, what the hell, bro?
first, it still had strange language, like no wrongdoing was found and that he was, quote, paid. Ultimately, the tweet would result in an even more polarizing response from the community, with large figures such as the Axeman coming to his defense, stating, "Degenerate troglodyte losers are trying to slander him with serious accusations that could destroy his entire career, while providing literally zero proof. In other words, some pussies have a vendetta/grudge against him and want to damage his reputation as much as possible."
Now, on the Ackman's part, I don't necessarily think that this was a awful take, because they did offer no proof. And when there's no proof being offered and the accusation's powerful, there is always going to be split camps. Either you're predicting that it's true or you're predicting that it's not true. That's all that comes down to.
Possible, and others critiquing his use of vague language.
Yeah, exactly.
against
Did it, boss.
allegations.
So weird.
Bro, why won't you say, "I was not talking to a minor trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon like what was alleged, but things were about to get much
Agreed. That's what he should have said if it was true, but it obviously wasn't.
much worse." On the 24th of June, while Stock was streaming Elden Ring, a game company he co-founded would make a tweet that would change everything, reading, "On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, aka DrDisrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved, and in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we've employed, along with our community of players." The tweet
I actually feel bad for the Midnight Gaming Society, because those cats are caught up in this and they have nothing to do with it, right? So now there's no way that they're not going to feel a massive repercussion or a massive hit if they don't just belly up altogether. And that sucks, because some people probably put a lot of time, effort, and real sweat and tears into crafting an organization like that, and now it's basically going to belly up because of some, for a lack of better word, losers like desire to around with like kids, like it's just crazy.
went live while Stock was streaming, and viewers claim this is the exact moment he saw the post.
You know how you run things here.
Towards the end of
I actually kind of wish they didn't speed that part up, because I would have liked to have read the behavior, the mannerisms, like, because you don't really get a lot when he doesn't react like that, but you want to be able to read the facial features or read the face a little bit, and I think it would have been nice to have that not sped up. Horse family, welcome to the stream, my man. Caught us at a weird time, but here we are. people saying he's still innocent after they are like, yeah, he did it, so what? So he had to cut ties. Like, yeah, he did it. He admit he did it. Like, some people just refuse to see that the sky is blue. Yes. I mean, once you have all the evidence and once you have his confession, what is there left? He might not have done something that's legally criminal, but the court of public opinion is still a court, and he is still taking the L. And in my opinion, there really is no redemption. Obviously, he's not a person that is safe to be around. He's not somebody you can trust. He's not an individual that is that should be put on a platform or a pedestal of any type. He's a disgusting person who took advantage of his position that put him in contact with people that were underage, and that shit is insane. That is actually insane. It's unhinged. It is not okay.
Of the stream, Doc seemingly came to terms with reality and what was awaiting him in the near future.
I think when I say step away, I think either have to relay this to the Midnight Society, but maybe I step away from there too. Just completely remove myself from the scene.
Yeah, well, that's a really nice thing to say after they already kicked you out, guy. I like how you're trying to edit reality where they didn't actually bounce you from the organization and you read the tweet and then are acting like you're making a choice to step down. You didn't step down. You got bounced because you were screwing around with kids in a DM.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah, it is what you need to do. Go away.
The following day, on the 26th of June 2024, DrDisrespect would post a tweet that would not only possibly end his career, but completely confirm the reason he was banned from Twitch, with his response reading, "The Twitch ban. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement."
Now, I've heard this a few times. I'm going to have him read through it so you guys can hear it, and I'll give you my take on it, because this is the king of bad
I've
tweets.
always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I'd never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside my control, I wasn't allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind?
Now, on this, where he says minor, keep in mind this post was edited. He actually edited the word where he said he originally said individual minor, and then he edited the word minor out, so it said individual. And then when he got called on it, because people can read your edit history on Twitter, he added it back in. So, excuse me, sorry, like choking on a carrot. He added it back in. So obviously he knows what he did wrong. And it contradicts the first opening line where he's like, I'm willing to take responsibility or whatever. My guy. No level of responsibility short of judicial punishment will suffice. You used your platform to engage with minors and cheat on your loving wife and kids. You literally had a 12-ounce ribeye at home, and you went to the gas station for beef jerky for dinner. And it's not even like... I just don't know why. I can't imagine in my mind any reason why you would do it other than you have a mental disease. That's all it comes down to. I cannot fathom in my head. You have a loving wife, you have a family, and for the second time, you would jeopardize that by engaging in sexually charged conversations with a minor. That is beyond insane. But I digress.
The answer is absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
These were casual.
And like to be clear, cheating in general makes you a piece of shit. It does. I'm not the type to think that cheating is cute. I think cheating is extraordinary. It is a clear statement that the person that you have decided is the most important person in your life means nothing to you. So if you cheat on that person, how can anyone find you to be a person of value when you don't value any person? Because the person you love the most, you disrespect. That is insane. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's it. Cheating is not okay. Like, cheating is the first is the first offense. This wasn't the second offense. That was the third offense. Let's be real. He did. I mean, Leon, you're right. He had money. He had a good life. He just gave up. You're right. He lost touch with reality. And he started engaging in whatever weird fantasy science world that he wanted to be in. He's just entered a world of I can do whatever I want, and clearly it's biting him in the ass, as it should.
Mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate. Nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and
yeah, Kerr for me, I agree with you wholeheartedly. His poor wife. What kind of mental duress and emotional stress must she be under? And I don't know what the dynamic of their relationship is. Like I said, I don't know this creator beyond what's going on in this drama, but I have to imagine that she would break up with him, that they would divorce, and that affects the children, and it just creates so many layers of pain and trauma and damage, because divorce is not easy on children and it's not easy on a family. So now his wife, who has been cheated on for the second time, must make a decision through no fault of her own. She's not in a position where it was her fault that she has to be there, but she has to now be in that position where she needs to decide whether it is appropriate to tear her family apart because a member of the partner that she chose is criminally insane, more or less. And yeah, I don't envy that. And the more I think about it, the more upsetting it becomes. So that's crazy. That too, Vicky, that other layer too is a whole other layer of pain too. Because it's not like this happened low key. Those kids probably go to a school who probably had fans of DrDisrespect, right? They're going to be dealing with this their whole lives. And it's just insane. That's really unfortunate.
that case was resolved by a settlement.
Dude thought he was Homelander is
It
what
was not a
happened. He just
criminal
thought he could
case
do whatever
against
he
me,
wanted.
and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me.
Not a defense. Just because you haven't been charged formally does not mean it doesn't mean you're innocent in the court of public opinion.
Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to be.
Not a moral standpoint, a social standpoint. And you saying you take responsibility, that sounds nice, but what actions are you going to take? And what actions can you take? You need to stop. You need to just disconnect from streaming altogether. You need to get out of the social media light because you have demonstrated you cannot be trusted and you cannot handle being in the space. This would be like if a priest in a church of a congregation did something to a child sexually and saying, I'm going to take responsibility, but continue to be a pastor. That is not taking responsibility because clearly you are not able to be trusted. And anyone that accepts that you'll continue to operate in that capacity literally diminishes the profession.
Begin with, that's on
This is part of why no content creator is going to back him on this. Like no one is going to stand up for him because that is unhinged. Him just being on the platform creates it makes all of us look bad. We can't accept it, and no one should.
That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid.
Saying this was stupid is not owning your shit. You know, it should. You're right. It should have never happened, but it did. Therefore, go away, be gone, dismiss yourself.
Now, with all this said, don't get it mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no predator or PDF file. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me knows where I stand on those things. With those types of people, F that.
Anyone that truly knows you anyone that truly knows you, where you stand, but you did it. But you did do those things. So does no one truly know you? Or was the perception that you put out into the world, this is Dr. Disrespect there, Devastators, or is the perception that you wanted to project out into the world a person who stands against that, but you actually supported that type of behavior? Because I think that's more likely given the actual, what actually happened. It's also unbelievably callous to make this statement in yes. I don't think it's a character, Vicky. I think this is just who he is. I don't think he's trying to be a character when he's doing this. I think this is him. And I think he doesn't know how to be any other way, because this is who he feels like he is and who he feels he's. This, if anything, shows you the disconnection from reality, Vicky. Shows you how disconnected from reality he is. What's going on, Afi? How you doing, buddy? Nobody truly knows you. You lying, cheating sack of insufferable human. Yeah, you're 100% right. No one knows this guy because who he wants to be and who he is not the same.
That's a different level of disgust that I hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as...
I hate even hearing about it. Then why did you do it? If you hate hearing about it, clearly you either lied then or you're lying now. Which is it? Either way, you lied, and I'm not going to take the word of a two-time cheater on his wife. If you cheat on your wife, I'm a stranger on the internet. You're damn well going to lie to me.
It's the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the F out of here with that shit.
Yeah. Don't call me the worst of the worst. Get out of here with that, bro. You are the worst of the worst. You have no leg to stand on to try and dismiss these statements as if they're anything other than the actual truth. You just talked about how you want to own it, then own it.
But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020.
And this here is the whole reason he's making the statement. Not because what he did was wrong, he just wants to address the ban. So take it for what it is.
Team, community, industry friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner.
You could have.
You guys have always showed me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can't imagine.
I mean, even if let's be honest, even if he did apologize a year ago, 2 years ago, would it have made it better? It wouldn't have made it better. He still would have been donezo. It would have been a done deal. And the real shame of it, in my eyes, is that if anyone here was a Dr. Disrespect fan before this, if you're okay with like throwing your hand up, I'd like to see it, because I have a point to make, and it's really in your defense. So any Dr. Disrespect fans before this incident in the chat? Okay. So in the case of like Du Bois, right? Du Bois supported this guy for 4 years after this happened. If he had come out 2 years ago and said this stuff, it would have saved Du Bois 2 years of supporting this guy, thinking that he was a genuine person, being misled by the caller. And that's for me the genuine shame, because that is abusing your community. That is abusing the trust and respect given to you by the people that follow you. And that is never going to be okay. You stopped seeing people as people at that point, and you only thought about yourself.
I have the best community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable...
So just FYI, if you were a Dr. Disrespect fan, I empathize for you. Because you didn't know that it was a snake and it had bit you repeatedly. Dude, low-key super talented and gifted as an entertainer, which it might be a fact, but doesn't matter. He's a pedophile. So at the end of the day, you could be the next Van Gogh, but if you're a pedophile, I don't think anyone cares. No one cares how many bridges you built. They just care about how many minors you've sexted.
I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated. But trust me when I say this, to all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real life experience, I don't give an F about you. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of...
He was sexting a minor. It was sexually charged conversations with a minor. And he mischaracterized them by saying they lean towards the inappropriate. They didn't lean towards the inappropriate. they were very unacceptable.
shit, that's fine, but I'm not effing going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are, guy. He says, if you're uncomfortable with this, blah, 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 and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. And then he says, remember, in the same dialogue that he says, or the same, monologue that he says, I'm going to take responsibility. He says, I'm not going anywhere. We're going down with the ship. And I hope that ship burns you alive. I hope you don't drown. I hope you burn and then drown. Because that is not okay. That's not taking responsibility. Let's be honest, he's more worried about the hit to his social cred than and the actual financial impact versus what actually he did. That's not taking responsibility. That's trying to pass the buck or dodge responsibility. That's all it is. So him saying, I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. How aren't you? You've been deceiving people for 4 years. How aren't you? You cheated on your wife twice. You did the second time with a minor, and you hid that information for 4 years. So I don't see how you aren't the same person you were. It sounds like you're just a continuation of that same guy.
I'm taking an extended vacation with my family, as mentioned on stream.
Let me get the ad to play through. Sorry. He says he's taking an extended vacation with his family, but that is honestly going to be needed because his family's going to need therapy. One way or another, those kids need therapy. He's going to need couples counseling. He's going to need... Man, honestly, there's nowhere that he can go to get that kind of mental help that he needs. But I don't know if mental help is even taking responsibility. But if he's going to continue to live in society, I would rather he get healed, through a professional who's equipped to do so, than... Because, we have to share society with somebody like this. He's not going to jail. He's loaded, right? So it is what it is. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to charge him criminally for this stuff. They'll just find a way. I think they might.
And I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders.
No, you're not.
To disappear. Yeah, right. Following the response.
Yeah, you're going to be gone. That's all there is to it. You're Joever, buddy.
Adding it back in due to backlash, with a reply stating he edited.
Like saying with a heavy weight off my shoulder, as if he wasn't going to face this for the rest of his life. I had DMs faked about me, like literally 2 years ago, and I still have morons coming into my chat pretending that shit's real. So this dude, he's going to be living, and this is legitimate for him. He's going to be living with this for the rest of his life. He's got a scarlet letter, and he deserves it.
Edited out minor, got caught on it, and then edited it back in. Quite the apology when you're still trying to skirt responsibility. As expected, the tweet
he was
go
trying to skirt
incredibly
responsibility. I
viral,
agree completely.
gaining over 60 million views within just 12 hours, leading users to dig even deeper into his history, with user Chrissy digging up a clip of Doc allegedly admitting to cheating on his wife at the 2017 TwitchCon, which also happens to be the same year he was...
Bro, what is... He was going to meet up with this girl at TwitchCon. He cheated with his wife. What is happening at TwitchCon? Yeah, what is happening at TwitchCon? That this dude is like, does he just go out there and just like bang everything that walks at TwitchCon? Is that what's happening? Is this just like a massive is this like Herogasm? Like from The Boys? Is that what TwitchCon is? Like what is happening at Twitch? Why did all these things happen? The more I think about it, the more I realize a lot of effed up shit happens at TwitchCon. Didn't we have a doc last year in the BDO community from something that happened at TwitchCon? My God, man. This is so unhinged.
Allegedly messaging the minor to find out what she was doing at the convention.
It sounds cool. I may have to go now. No. Gross. I mean, if you're single, I guess. Do whatever you want. Just don't do it with minors.
As you guys know, I have a beautiful family.
Yeah, TwitchCon is just like it's a beacon. I guess I just go there with if you are a vulnerable person, go there prepared to defend yourself, I suppose, or just don't go.
And a wife and kid, and
what's up, Bitter?
I want to be transparent that.
Is he saying that he cheated on his wife he cheated on his wife in 2017 TwitchCon? The sexting to meet up happened in 2020. Happened 2020 TwitchCon. So he cheated on his wife 3 years ago at TwitchCon, and then 3 years later he goes to cheat on his wife again with a minor this time. In the same event. That poor woman, man. God, that poor woman.
I've been unfaithful, and
The response from the YouTube
yeah.
community was brutal to say the least, with creators such as Penguin Zero, Some Ordinary Gamers, and Coffeezilla all making videos on the situation and calling out Doc for his
Let's not forget that Internet Anarchist made a video on the situation. Such a humble guy, didn't even mention himself.
disgusting behavior. During Penguin Zero, aka Charlie's video, he would completely destroy Doc, first addressing how he sneakily edited his tweet multiple times.
Now, the doc actually edited this statement twice. So initially, he posted it with the word minor in it, saying, were there messages with an individual minor? The answer is yes. But then shortly after he published it, he edited the word minor out of it. So he removed that. He redacted it like a fucking CIA document, trying to bury it, just snapping it out of existence. So then it read, were there messages with an individual? The answer is yes. But people were quick to notice the edit, and you can actually check edit history on Twitter, which I didn't know you can do, but you could clearly see that the original no longer matched the current one because he took the word minor out. So when people caught him red-handed, he just edited it one more time to put the word minor back into it.
Charlie would also critique Doc's strange ending of the tweet, stating,
He tries to close this statement with a really hard, cheesy 80s action movie one-liner. They want me to disappear.
Yeah, I actually hard agree with Charlie on this one.
Yeah, fucking right.
Like, that is so mega cringe. I cringe so hard, I think I have a new wrinkle on my face.
Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. You're lucky you didn't blow the welds off the intake. I'm not leaving. It's really kind of ridiculous to put that there with accusations like this.
Finally, Charlie would counter the argument that Doc possibly didn't know the age of the minor he was talking to.
Now, what's not clear and what a lot of people are coping with is that maybe DrDisrespect didn't know the age of the person he was communicating with. But I truly feel if that was the case, DrDisrespect would have mentioned that, saying that he had those communications with this person that he believed was of age but turned out to be a minor. I think if that was the reality of that situation, if he truly communicated with someone that he thought was of age but turned out to be a minor, I think he would have mentioned that in this statement, but he didn't. He didn't say that he was under the impression he was communicating with an adult. He just says that he had conversations with an individual minor. He doesn't say anything like, oh, they were actually one day away from being 18, or I really thought they were, in their 20s.
Let's be honest, even if it was one day away from 18, minor's a minor. And Charlie's absolutely right. This is a very base take. And once again, from this guy, if you guys don't know who Penguin Zero is on Twitch, it's Charlie. Super, super base take on a lot of stuff. He's actually involved in quite a bit of really interesting things around the gaming sphere. So, I'm just a small creator, but give him a check out if you haven't. Definitely somebody worth watching. But 100% correct. He would have come out with a statement that would have clearly exonerated him. He didn't do that because he wasn't exonerated. He wasn't innocent.
Anything like that. And I think if that was what happened, it would have been mentioned here. I really do.
To make matters even worse, even his previous friends and defenders took a stance against him after he admitted he was having an inappropriate conversation with a minor, with Nick Merck stating,
Yo, checking in. I'm seeing everything on Twitter, and I read through Doc's tweet, and in that very tweet, he basically confirmed.
Ascension WoW is a standalone World of Warcraft private server that
Wait, you can how is this legal to advertise on YouTube? Can you do this? This seems so illegal.
That he was texting an underage girl and it went weird sometimes, and look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right? No excuse for something like that.
And with the
the private server ad to me is insane. What? How is that legal? I'm just so confused. Blizzard, what are you doing? Oh, that's the wrong button.
Man stating,
What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and this is my final verdict on the DrDisrespect.
To be clear, this is the guy that defended him in the tweet. So the tweet that defended the guy in the earlier part of the video, the Act Man, this is him now talking about it after the fact. So you have the before and after take.
situation. As you might have seen, I've been pretty vocal about this on Twitter, and Doc has finally given us the truth. At long last, we know why he was banned, and it's not good. So first, I want to read this part where he says, it's the most important part of his tweet. Were there Twitch Whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. These were casual mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in...
Wait. Did it happen in 2017? Was this the same TwitchCon? Was he just setting up multiple bang attempts? Because he did cheat on his wife in that 2017 TwitchCon. Yo. And he got banned for it in 2020. But it all happened in 2017? Something was up. Something was happening in his life. He was at, I don't know, midlife crisis. I don't know what it was he was going through, but he was clearly trying to set up a lot of tail to bang at that event, and he did not care the age of those people. Actually wild. I don't even know if that actually qualifies as two different cheating events, but I do know that it does count as unhinged behavior. With two separate people. One being a minor. Holy crap, man. That is yikes. That is very yikes.
In the direction of being inappropriate. I've seen enough to catch a predator to know when somebody is using language to soften the blow, to downplay what actually happened. You know, it's a strategy
that's
where
yikes.
you admit something you did that was terrible, but you can maybe make it seem not as bad as it actually is.
And one thing I did like about what Ackman did here was, this is super based on his part, was he allowed himself to change his opinion based on new information. This is something that I feel like a lot of people do not do. They do not change their opinion based on new information. This is why you see people get entrenched in bad arguments. So good on him for having the cognizance to go back and talk about him defending it, why he defending it, and now taking a new stance based off new information. Very good.
Question looming on everyone's mind is what is going to happen to Dr. Disrespect? Based on his response, he's planning on taking a break and returning as usual. However, only time will tell if he'll make a comeback from such...
There are more women than that coming forward now. I'm not surprised, Apolos. If he did it with two, there's every reality he probably did it with more than two. I'm sure he was trying to set up a lot more than just a 1-2 punch.
Disgusting and character-ruining behavior. Whether he was legally charged or not, that does not change the court of public opinion. And being in your late 30s having inappropriate interactions with a minor is career-ending no matter how good your reputation is. I think Mudaha put it well.
You know, at the end of the day, this is just a gross thing to be doing. And there is no defense for this kind of behavior. And I firmly believe, like, as, you know, even on YouTube, like, this guy shouldn't even be streaming anywhere. Like, what is proven is if you are interacting in a negative fashion with anybody that is a minor, you are not to be trusted on any social media platform whatsoever.
Oh, very good take. Very, very good take. I mean, that's valid. Extraordinarily valid. If it period. That'd be like you're somebody's hero and there's and you have this negative, I'm not just talking about like sexual, I'm talking about period, negative interaction, period, with children. You're not a safe person for them. Like, period. You don't belong on those platforms.
Seems like this is the beginning of the end for Dr. Disrespect's reputation and career, with new articles coming out from inside sources claiming he did know the age of the victim and was sexting with them.
Oh, 1,000%. I believe that for sure. He definitely did.
YouTube channel losing over 50,000 subscribers within just days
So
of
long.
his response going live. The more information that comes out revolving around the situation, the worse it begins to look for Dr. Disrespect. Over the coming weeks, it's likely that he will lose hundreds of thousands of subscribers and possibly have one of the biggest downfalls in recent creator history, alongside Illuminati, who lost her entire audience. Click the video on screen to find it.
So this is, again, the Internet Anarchist. He does a lot of these types of videos. I've watched the Illuminati one that he's done as well. I'll relink the video in the chat. If you haven't already, check this guy out. Like, you know, do like a little follow/subscribe to him on YouTube. If you liked this video and you liked the way it was presented, he does this for a lot of creators, and it's really good. It's a really good way to, you know, get to know, you know, the creators, or rather get to know some of the drama without having to be directly involved in it. So, yeah, check him out. Now back to our regularly scheduled PvP.